Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 10th episode of Never Over the Hill. So today, in celebration of my 10th episode, I'm having my buddy Harlan on, who basically started this whole thing with me because he had me on his podcast about, I think, only like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I had been wanting to do my own podcast for a couple years, and he asked me to be on his. He came into the shop. We recorded it right here on this couch. And afterwards, I said, "You made that look so easy. Can you help me?" And here we are, sitting here, 10 episodes in, and so I'm going to turn the tables around on Harlan today.
This is so weird, by the way.
This
is so weird. I love it, though.
Yeah, it's so cool. I feel like a real pro because you helped me get all of this together. The microphones, the camera, all of the everything. So, and the editing. So anyway, so I am going to pass the mic over to you, and you're going to tell us what you do. How you got started doing your own podcast, and then I'm going to ask you all the style questions.
I love it. I love it. You know what? It's so much more comfortable. Like, your show is so much more comfortable on the couch than on like the chair watching the show. Like, I feel good on this side of the camera.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
It's weird to be on the other side, but also not, because you do this like with other people all the time.
Yeah.
He's a real pro with his interview skills.
This is fun. I got skills.
Yeah.
I got skills. I love it.
So Harlan, tell us like what do you do for your career, your work, and what, tell us about like your radio, your time in radio and all of that.
Yeah, well,
we want to know.
I'm in crime. Crime. Basically just crime.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
no, it's fun.
Love it.
I was in FM radio forever. That's where I started with the world famous WLIR out here on Long Island tri-state area, and I was on FM radio for about 12 years, breaking new artists and playing amazing records, and letting the world hear artists like Coldplay and Maroon 5 and Good Charlotte for the first
90s?
time.
Was
Yeah,
the
90s into the 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Did you talk? Did you have like okay.
Yep. They didn't let me talk for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah. Probably like about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And then like
you must have been dying.
I was dying because like this is, I like to talk,
right.
Yep. And it was funny, like I was one of the stunt guys on the afternoon show. So there were like 3 of us, almost like Howard Stern's Whack Pack.
Okay. Right.
And like once a month, like the DJ would let us say something, and like we're taping it, we're like sending it to all our friends, like, did you hear me? Did you hear me? I was on for 4.5 seconds.
Oh my God.
I said, yeah, that's a great idea,
Yeah.
But it was like such a moment.
Right. Well, because that was before social media, so it was like if you caught it, and if you didn't,
gone.
That was it. Yeah.
So, that's where I started. I was there for a long time. And then, we had sold the station, and I got offers to move to other markets, but I really wanted to stay in New York. So I took a beat, and I went back to my originally I used to promote nightclubs and manage bands and kind of produce like small concerts. So I kind of went back to that world and started a small like marketing and event agency that really specialized in sports and entertainment. And we had a lot of fun with that. I'm still doing it.
Right.
I still consult for a lot of these clients.
Right.
But
tell us like what does that mean? Like what would like a day in the life of that person, like of what you're doing, look like?
Yeah. So every day was completely different.
Right.
Which I need.
Right.
I need that.
Yeah.
You're
not like a 9 to 5 office person.
No. I can never imagine somebody being like, Harlan, you were supposed to be here at 9:18.
Oh yeah, no way.
Yeah.
That's so not me either. No. I could never do that. No.
Be a disaster.
Yeah.
So like every day is completely different. I still do consult for a brand merchandising and marketing company. So with that company, we were doing all the merchandising for the iHeartRadio Jingle Ball Tour, New York Auto Show, Tribeca Film Festival, BravoCon, a lot of events like that.
So cool.
So we were, part of those teams.
Right. And do you still do that?
Yeah, I still do that for
Yeah.
for a few of them.
Okay.
And that encompasses everything from, for the Tribeca Film Fest, building out the different merchandise and souvenir stores
Okay.
around the city, and doing their VIP gifting, and fulfilling the big guys' requests, and
Right,
all those fun
right.
things.
Right.
And
And so then when did you start your podcast?
so
Or you've had a couple podcasts?
yeah, so I had the itch like the whole time, and business was great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I missed radio.
Yeah.
And
You miss talking.
I miss talking. I miss talking. And it was funny going into COVID. I had just started my show Soul Free,
Okay.
and was on a buddy of mine, Ryan Starr, has a platform called Station Head, where you could go on and you can be your own DJ.
Oh my God, so fun.
Fun.
But then can people listen to it?
Yep.
Okay.
So it links to your Spotify or Apple account, and you have your own quote unquote radio show on this app. So I
I
started.
used to do that when I was little. Like I would have like my double
Oh, yeah.
cassette tape thing,
Uh-huh.
and I would make an actual radio show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you never did that?
I mean, I did speeches. I did
Oh, yeah.
sports interviews.
Yeah.
I told stories.
Yeah.
On my little Radio Shack single speaker
Yeah.
cassette player.
Love it.
Yeah.
We're like kids of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah. So much fun. Okay, sorry. To
Do you ever
interrupt.
skew the kids of the 80s to the 90s depending on the audience? Do you ever? I do that sometimes.
Well, sometimes, but it's more like I feel
the
like
90s.
we were like kids
Yeah,
in the
we were
80s.
children of the 80s.
And I was a teen of the 90s. Like I was in high school from 91 to 95 and college from 95 to 99. So like,
yeah.
and you're a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
So it's just like, anyway. But no, I think it just is like the late 80s to the early 90s kind of is similar.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a big difference between like early 80s and late 90s, like
Totally.
a giant difference.
Huge.
So when I say 80s, 90s, I kind of mean like late 80s,
Yeah.
early 90s. Yeah. But anyway, so I feel like we're going to do this the whole
Oh my
entire
God.
time.
This is gonna be a
because
7-hour
we
podcast.
could talk forever.
Yeah.
But
I'm here for it. I'm ready.
No, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But so the Soul Free was your first
Yeah.
foray into,
And I was doing it. It was purely passion.
and what was it based on?
So it lives in the world of sneaker and street culture. And what's street culture? It's entertainment, fashion, music, sports, food. Anything that has a vibe and a pulse to it in New York.
Right.
And it was the beginning. It was
Yeah.
so early on. During this time, we started getting closer and closer to March 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And we had just opened a restaurant in Roslyn, which was flourishing.
Oh,
And, all of a sudden we got a text message that at 5 o'clock today, you have to close your restaurant. And within 3 days to a week, we closed the restaurant. The U.S. Open was canceled. Another client at the time, the Oyster Festival in Oyster Bay, this like 200,000 person seafood festival, was canceled.
Right.
The New York Auto Show was canceled. The Tribeca Film Festival was canceled. All of iHeartRadio's concerts and tours were canceled.
Oh my God! It's actually it feels like such a long time ago.
Yeah.
But when you really think about it,
It's a minute.
it wasn't. But like talking about it is bringing me back to that time where like it was crazy. Everything just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took about 3 days of just self-sorrow and pity.
Right.
And tequila.
We all did. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
Not me, not tequila, because I had quit drinking by then. But
oh, you were okay.
I was sober. I got sober in September of 2019. Thank God.
Wow.
Because COVID would have.
Yeah, you would have been a
Yeah,
mess.
I would have been a mess.
So-
But yeah, so and then you were like, let me pivot and do this.
Yeah, let me sometimes I have the ability to pivot quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, all right, from here on in, for the rest of time, I can't depend on anything,
Right.
for my day-to-day or for my, career.
Right.
I have to create it myself. I have to be in control of everything.
Right.
It's a little bit of the type A thing kicking into.
Totally.
Because this could happen at any time.
Right.
And-
What we never thought would happen happened.
Yeah,
And
like
then-
the most outrageous, the most unthinkable thing.
Right.
Like, you hear things of, we were always in fear, especially growing up in the 80s.
Yeah.
We can't be like the Soviet Union.
Oh, right.
Where they
Yep.
control everything
Yeah.
and shut you down.
Right.
But,
Yep.
yeah, that happened.
Yep,
So,
exactly.
So,
Ooh, sorry.
and, I was like, all right, how do I build this out so it's a real thing?
Right.
And, I just started hustling and making it happen.
And who was your first interview, or after COVID was going on, who was your first interview? Were you doing them virtually?
Yeah, everything with that app, everything was dial-in.
Okay.
So my first real interview on that show, I would, the first interview that said, wow, this is really cool,
Right.
was with Mayor. And Mayor is part of the Terror Squad.
Okay.
He's one of the guys behind Up NYC,
Okay.
up in the Bronx.
Okay.
One of the most, astute, folks in the sneaker world.
Okay.
He's the one, a minute into our first interview, he's like, no, don't say the word sneakerhead. Because sneakerhead sounds like crackhead, and I think about, somebody jonesing in the projects.
Interesting.
We're sneaker collectors, we're
It had
people who enjoy sneakers.
a bad connotation to him, a negative connotation.
Yeah, so I never used that term again since that day.
That's interesting. Okay, so that's not a good term. Wasn't there a show called Sneakerhead?
Yeah, people use it left and right.
And it's actually funny because I always think of a Deadhead, Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
And my friend Katie just started a flower business last year, and I named it Flowerhead Flowers. And it has flowers, but I guess it's different.
Yeah, I think
things
depending where you come from.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
You know?
that's interesting. I like knowing that.
And the fact that he gave me the time to have a conversation with me on the show, I was like, all right, this is the start of something good. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And then it kind of started rolling from there. It was a lot of different, versions of it. And we're finally at the point now where we're, in season 3. And it's a lot of fun. We have some insane guests on the show.
And you are not in one place. You go around and you meet up with people at different things.
Yeah.
And I want to do that eventually, but I feel like
we have the ability. We can do it.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to start off with I feel like I've been starting off with the question: do you have a name for your style? Either that one, or if you don't have a name, how would you describe your style in three words?
I would call my style street geek.
Oh, it's so cute. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, I would call it street geek. Everything I am, I learned in the 80s in a way.
Yes.
I think of my wall. Everybody has a wall that they grew up with, whether it's the posters on their wall or it's their vision board, whatever it might be. And my board was the Beastie Boys, Run DMC.
I mean, if
LL
you're watching
Cool J.
this on YouTube, that's when I first met you, that's what I thought of. All of those things.
Yeah.
So you're spot on with the description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it was that was the style part, and there was an attitude that went along with it. That was the other side of the wall. It was Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden and John Gotti and Mike Tyson. It was all these bigger than life characters that we grew up with.
Yeah.
And everything, I wanted to be everything that they were.
Yes.
And I would call it street geek, because it's definitely there's definitely part of this that is still overweight, sweaty bar mitzvah boy. Completely, and you can almost smell that kid walking in, and you're like, ugh,
Are you wearing Drakkar cologne?
Oh,
I
no,
hope?
I was a Ralph boy.
Okay.
I was a Ralph boy. If they took me to Marshall's on a Saturday, I scoured those racks like somebody looking for a can on the street, looking for that nickel deposit, and I'd find that pony, and I'd grab it. I didn't care what color. But I was just so happy to have a piece of Ralph at the time.
Right.
That was
Wasn't
big.
that a thing? I watched the Ralph Lauren documentary on HBO again recently. Yeah. And there are those, that group that it was they dressed in polo,
Yeah, there was a gang on the Lower East Side called Ralph's Boys.
Yes, that's what it was.
And it was a lot of the Polo Sport.
Polo Sport, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember seeing the Polo Sport ads for the first time. I must have been in college with Bridget Hall and Tyson Beckford.
Yes.
Was it Bridget Hall? I can't remember, but those ads were like. I mean, this is where I feel like Instagram and all of the social media has literally ruined fashion because it's so like everyone can see what, no one has their own inspiration anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to like find it. It's just there. And
Yep.
it's like the fact that we grew up when there wasn't that, we
Yeah.
had a chance to develop our own personal style without, you know, seeing what everybody was wearing at all times. I actually think it's like, it's a blessing and a curse. But so like with your name for your style, which I
Yeah.
love that name, do you have a daily uniform?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is it for the people who can't see?
My daily uniform is, is a pair of super comfortable jeans.
Okay.
But they have to be completely skinny fit.
Okay.
Like, I don't like the big baggy jeans.
You don't want to do like a Kendrick Lamar bootcut jean look? Like
No, because all I think about when I see that jean,
Yeah.
all I think about is like sometime in the early 90s, like
early
working
90s.
working at a surf shop. Well,
Okay.
mid 90s really.
Yeah.
And flip-flops were a big thing. You know, Tevas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Cringe.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
But wherever you'd walk, the jean would be too big.
yes.
And it would be soaked on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it could be
Yes.
dry as a bone outside.
And like a hole on the back of the hem.
Yes.
From stepping on.
Yeah, shredded.
I actually do not. I'm not a fan of that jean look, and
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I know it's like having a moment right now, but
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so skinny
Yeah.
skinny jeans.
Yeah.
And
I'm
what
a,
else?
I'm a sweatshirt. Daily uniform sweatshirt.
Me too.
Black
actually.
T-shirt.
Okay.
It's the
Do you have
Steve
a
Jobs to me.
Do you have a black T-shirt brand?
Yes. It sounds crazy, but just the straight up Supreme Hanes T-shirt that they sell in a 3-pack.
Okay.
Or the Kith 3-pack of black tees.
Okay.
There must be about 50 of them.
Okay. I love that.
Skewed across
if you
my
find
room.
something that works for you, I'm also a proponent of like you just keep getting
Yeah.
that and that. Yeah. Okay. Sweatshirt. Does it have to be like with a graphic or words on it? Or okay.
No, but it definitely has to be a feel. Like
Okay.
it can't be that super fuzzy. It's gonna get off on your
So
clothes.
you like French terry?
French terry
French terry.
is my
Yeah,
is my
okay.
is my jam.
All right.
And then I'm a big accessories person
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that like hats and sneakers have always been my thing.
Yes.
And I think it stems back to that fat, sweaty bar mitzvah boy we were
Okay.
talking about. So he couldn't go, and especially when we were growing up, nothing was inclusive.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They didn't, if you were beyond small, medium, or large, they
Okay.
didn't care.
Right.
So,
Right.
where there were certain styles that I did like, but they didn't fit right, or they just didn't fit. But
Mm-hmm. Right.
sneakers and hats and watches
Yes.
were always a vibe.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
I could be as cutting edge and as, fashion forward as I wanted with those things, no matter what.
Right.
And that was like kind of where I found my fashion home.
I feel like there's like a boutique, like a shop idea in here coming to me for you. I don't know.
Fat, sweaty bar mitzvah boy.
Not called that.
Okay.
But
I think
like,
that would be genius, by the way. I would shop
actually,
there
me
every
too.
day.
Actually, maybe we
Every
need
day.
to put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
No, but like having a place where like you can come by all the things that can fit anybody,
Yeah.
but also cool where you can't find like, okay, this is a totally separate conversation.
And
So-
by the way, this is what we do.
What we do,
Just,
yes. Remember the first time that I did the podcast, you were like daily uniform is like
Yeah.
a thing
Yeah.
that we never talked about again, but we should talk about it again. Okay, so do you have a name for your style? Yes. Do you have a daily uniform? Okay, so your skinny jeans, sweatshirt, French terry sweatshirt, and cool accessories, sneakers, hat, jewelry.
Yeah.
I love it. And a black T-shirt. Okay, so did your style or fashion like take growing up influence what you were going to do for your job, for your career?
100%. I think it kind of went hand in hand.
It sounds like it.
It started. It did start early. It did start early.
Yeah.
When I was promoting nightclubs and managing bands, there was a certain uniform that everybody was into at the point.
Right.
At that time, every nightclub promoter was wearing black pants and a pair of Gucci or Ferragamo loafers and a button-down, untucked, slightly rolled sleeves.
What
and
year was this?
This is like 98,
Okay.
99.
So I was coming down to the city
Yeah.
from Boston to go to clubs in
Yeah.
New York because the clubs in Boston were kind of like,
Well, you had Axis. Axis was,
you know,
was
I
real.
mean, there was there
Lansdowne
was
Street.
Paradise.
Paradise, that's it, yeah.
There was Avalon. There was Axis. There were a couple, and then this guy, I can't remember what his name was. Oh my God! But he worked with some people that you know for
Yeah.
sure. Oh my God, I have to remember his name.
Was
but
it Greg Breyer?
No,
Andrew
he
Cezanne?
opened Wonder Bar.
Okay.
So Wonder Bar was. I know we're talking about you and not me, but this is the same era.
You know my favorite subject's you.
Yeah.
So just
Okay,
roll
so
it
then
out.
we obviously have something in common. Just kidding. No, but it's just the era was like 98 was such a time where like this is also a crazy story because this is like a visual for people. So I went to BU and people that you are friends with also went to BU during the time that I was there. And I was friendly with this girl, Sarah Howard, who was best friends with Kourtney Kardashian. And I would go with her back to New York and we would stay at her dad's apartment. And I am like racking my brain trying to figure out if I was ever in the same place as Kourtney K because people used to say I looked like her and I love her actually. And
She's my favorite K.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And actually, so I don't know if Sarah would remember me, but she would like let me wear her like Gucci platform shoes and her like cool like skin tight dresses. I don't even know. We would get them at like some store on Newbury Street that sold like Patricia Field or whatever. But anyway, Sarah, if you remember me, I need you to DM me and tell me if I was ever in the same place as Kourtney Kardashian. Okay, they're still best friends, actually.
Really?
But anyway, yeah, yes.
Sarah Howard, hit us
Yeah.
up right now.
Yeah. So anyway, so you were were you wearing this outfit? Were you wearing this button?
I started,
Yeah.
and then it just felt so unnatural that I was just like, you know what? I'm going to push the limits here a little bit.
Yeah.
If I'm bringing, 7 tables to the VIP room,
Right.
and I'm bringing, maybe 50, 60 people general admission through the door,
Right.
I know they say no jeans, but what are they going to do?
Oh, that was like a thing?
Yeah, it was like,
Okay.
so I was like, I'm gonna go for
Right.
it. So I started, with the jeans, and then I always liked a vintage T-shirt also, and I would find, new vintage I'd find,
Right.
or some vintage, and I said, let me try it, and sure enough, I got away with it. And
Nobody said anything to
No, and I
you.
think that was probably the last time I wore black dress pants. I used to call it like the Banana Republic Mafia.
Oh my God, yes.
It was just such a...
I can actually picture you wearing this look though. I can.
Yeah.
I can picture you wearing the black skinny like not shiny but
No,
like
they had a
nylon-y
sheen.
pants
Yeah, they had a sheen.
with the Gucci or Ferragamo loafers
Yeah.
and like a maroon button-down shirt.
There were maroon shirts. There were maroon shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a look during that time, but I never really liked it either.
No, it wasn't me.
No. So so you created your own look and
Yeah.
then you
And I would say I just kind of went from that. I kind of always wore what I wanted to wear.
Right.
And thank God I never, this is going to sound weird, but I never really had a job.
Yeah.
A typical job where
totally.
you had, you really should be in a tie today. No,
Right.
that was never
Right.
a vibe for me.
But if you wanted to wear one, you could because you were kind of working freelance, like for yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's actually really it is a thought. It is an influence when you're like, I don't want to be told what to wear.
Yeah.
I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be told what time I have to. And so that totally influenced your
Totally.
choice in what you were going to do.
And it kind of pushed me down certain career paths that, I had 2 job options when I came out of college.
Right.
And I was already, doing, what's it called? Street team work. And I
Right.
was running a snowboard surf shop. And I had like 3 other jobs, I was like a Uber driver from, Pakistan, I had like 9 jobs.
Yeah.
And, but I did, what's it called? I had two job options coming out of college. I could take this PR job in the city that started at like 80 grand, and which was
that's a lot.
great money for them.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was working in an ad agency for like 30 grand.
Yeah. Or I could stay at my internship at the radio station and possibly have the ability to get on the air for 1 hour a week for $8 an hour. So clearly I took
that was the option.
Yeah, that was clearly the better option.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's cool because you
Yeah.
know what? You did not go with like the traditional
I couldn't.
and now you have your own PR thing.
Yeah.
Because you like promote what you love and yeah.
Yeah. Every week I get to do another job. Every show is a different job.
Right.
And it's so much fun. I just love telling stories.
Yeah. Me too.
And telling
totally.
other people's stories.
Right.
I always relate it back to myself somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where we're similar.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the many
Besties.
reasons. And we haven't even talked about Boca yet.
No.
Okay, so let's get into tell me about a style or outfit mistake you made.
Oh, so many. So many. I went through this period, and this was before everything happened, where I thought Sean John was a good look. Like, I hardcore thought that was a good look.
But it was back then. Well, okay. It was very in style.
Yeah.
So that's a difference. Okay. Right.
So there
oh my
was
God,
that.
how like culturally it's like now.
Yeah,
can't
right?
Even, yeah. Oh my God.
There was a period where...
What was the look? What was like the look that you're like can't...
Oh my God, like oversized sweatsuits, like button down like basketball warm-ups. There was the leather pant period.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tight leather?
As tight as the size 38 waist would allow the legs to be.
Okay.
It was kind of this like odd shaped, like even the tailor was like, "Sir, there's only so much we can do with this." Right. So yeah, there was the leather pant period.
Okay.
And that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough. I survived it.
Yeah. Do you have photos of these looks?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pop some photos in.
I'll pop a photo or two.
Okay.
There was do you remember the sweater company 525?
Yes, I do.
They had those like chenille.
Yes. Oh my God,
right?
yeah, and like burnt orange.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
plum.
Yes.
Or like, yes, I used to go to, in Americana, there used to be a shop. Was it Denny's? Denny's might have been in the Americana. I can't remember, but in Manhasset, there's a very fancy high-end, it's like the Rodeo Drive of Manhasset, or Madison Avenue of Manhasset, Long Island, where we live. And they had a shop in there when it wasn't as high end.
Yeah.
And they sold 525 brand sweaters downstairs in the basement.
Yes.
Maybe it was Wheatley Plaza, now that I think about it. It was Wheatley Plaza, another shopping center. Anyway, and I would like beg for those sweaters.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of like, they weren't cheap.
No, it was funny, a friend of mine and I produced a film festival in sometime in the mid-90s because, why not?
Right, of course.
And we didn't sell one sponsorship, but we had two in-kind sponsors.
Okay.
One was Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yum.
So we had like 60 dozen glazed donuts
Okay.
at this film festival. And the other was 525 sweaters. And they gave us each like $1,000 in,
clothing
in
credits.
gifting. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I had probably like 7 of these really heavy chenille turtleneck sweaters. So now, fast forward, we're going out. And I forget, insert name of bar and city here.
Yeah.
And I have on the leathers. Okay. I have on the chenille sweater with the big turtleneck up to here. And I have my like 3/4 length Kenneth Cole leather jacket.
Oh yeah, like a trench coat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I might have had on like a chapeau, like like a Borsalino, whatever the hats are.
Was it felt? Like a felt
No,
hat?
we went all out. It was like a suede. It was like
suede.
it was big. It was real.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a bar with a glass of wine, and I'm getting so hot that the anxiety attack kicks in. I can't breathe. I literally run outside. I think I threw away everything. Like I didn't even like take a train or a car home. I think I
I think
ran
that's
home.
actually my favorite fashion, like the fashion mistake, because I can remember
Yeah.
being like, actually, it's nice that you wore a jacket, because when I would go out in the city, I would like, all my friends we were all freezing,
Yeah.
and nobody was wearing a jacket, even
Yeah.
though I would sometimes just bring one anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, going out in the city like in the winter and having
Oh.
like to go from freezing into like a hot,
Yeah.
disgusting, overheated
Yeah.
bar where everyone was drunk and like,
Ah,
could you
sweaty.
smoke still in there?
You could
Yeah,
smoke.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
gross. Okay, so switching it, flipping the switch. What is like your go-to piece or look when you have to like go to a fancier, dressier event?
I gotta send love and blessings to two people.
Okay.
To Max Siegelman and Ronnie Feig.
Okay.
So Max Siegelman from Siegelman Stables and Ronnie obviously from Kith. Both started off, Max too during the I was gonna say during the Depression during COVID.
Okay. Well, kind of same thing.
Took his family. His family legacy, Siegelman Stables. It was a horse racing stable. out
Wearing
here.
the hat right
Yeah,
now.
represented Max. And, started making hats and sweatshirts for friends and family. And it kind of popped off from there. And he does some really cool ready-to-wear pieces that are... You could wear them, to hang out in.
Okay.
Or you could wear them to a red carpet event.
Okay.
Very bold.
I feel like this is actually that I keep saying this
Yeah.
on the pod, that I hate the phrase dress up, dress down, but it actually has come up a lot
Yeah.
lately. And I think it's actually, I'm just going to bring the phrase back and start using it again, because I am always dressing up, dressing down and up the same exact thing. So
Yeah.
it's actually cool.
Yeah.
So what, like, you would wear the piece differently to
Yep,
hang
totally.
out during the day, but then also in the red carpet. So like, what
Yeah.
are you pairing it with that you could?
I mean, thank God they give you everything. It does pants, does,
Okay.
jackets and shackets and
Oh
everything
yeah,
in
like a
between.
shirt jacket. Okay.
And then, the guy who really took it to another level, Ronnie, if you're watching, I thank you, because Kith has become just a one-stop spot. You go in there, you get your jeans and you get your sweatshirts and, all the incredible collabs that Kith does. And that's great on that end. Then you go to the other side of the rack and he has the greatest casual suiting now. And, I will wear a button down again because they're doing it in a different way with a different cut.
Okay.
And just some really great pieces. And there's a few outfits. There's a few, like, suits, I would almost call them.
Okay.
That I bought from Kith that...
Which Kith are you going to?
Well, it's so funny. It's developed. When it first opened, obviously, I was going to Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And then, I moved it into the Lafayette store.
Okay.
But now I got to tell you, the Williamsburg store, it's downstairs from their corporate offices.
Okay.
And it really is. I think it's the nice, out of all their stores around the world.
Okay.
I think the Williamsburg store is the spot.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Field trip.
Let's do it.
I've
and then,
never
of course,
been.
All right, we're going.
No.
We're going.
Okay.
We're doing that.
And I want to do a collab with them.
Yeah, I mean, why
Ronnie.
not? Why not, Ronnie? And but I do have to show love, because when I am on Long Island, Hirschleifers is everything.
I know. It
And,
really is.
You pick up. They have a Kith pop up there, a permanent pop up.
Yes.
And you can pick up anything there.
Yeah. They do a good job
Yeah.
over there at Hirschleifers.
Yeah.
And like Lori Hirschleifer's the jewelry, the accessories, I'm
yeah.
always
Yeah.
drooling over everything. And actually, the best compliment that I've gotten from somebody who runs the show over at Americana was that my shop is like mini Hirschleifers. Or like my
Wow.
brand is
Wow.
Hirschleifers like. And
Wow.
that was like, what? Oh my God, like next level. Because growing up here, it's like, that's like the coolest, family run, still like creative control. And that's like such a a huge deal when so many things have gone so corporate.
Yeah.
To have the relationships that they've had and that they have,
It's
and
incredible.
building
It's
these
incredible.
shops in shop, very cool.
Well, you spend like 5 minutes with David, Lori, and Marcy, and you get it.
Yeah.
You just get it right away.
Yeah. It's just like keeping that vision
Yeah.
alive and having it be elevated, but like letting it change and morph into something over the years. I feel like it's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going there and buying all my like Christian Louboutins and like not all. I mean,
Just the left side of the closet.
anyway, no. Okay, so let's see. What is the most versatile piece in your wardrobe?
Most versatile piece in my wardrobe.
It can be a category too.
I'd say, I would say my jackets.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
you know, it's so funny being a sneaker person. Mm-hmm. The sneaker category in my collection is outrageous.
Right.
You know, it's a little overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started taking the sneaker mentality, unfortunately, to other things. I was like, well, if you're going to have 300 pairs of sneakers,
Right.
You can't wear the same jacket every day.
Of course not. Oh my God, that would be like a crime.
That would be insane. You know, and I've brought it to my eyewear too. I was like, well, you can't just have one pair of glasses.
Right. But
every
wait,
day.
are they all prescription?
Unfortunately.
Okay, no, but that must be because glasses are crazy expensive.
You know, and thank God I got a great sponsor for my show. Thank you, Optics.
Okay.
New York.
Yes.
We love you so much.
Yeah.
You know, for all your
Amazing.
optical needs.
Yeah.
But,
No, and I actually need new glasses, so that's another field trip that we're going to have to go on.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Even like with eyewear, like you know, I just never liked anything, whether it was fashion, eyewear, accessories. Mm-hmm. I never liked anything that 8 other people were going to walk in with.
Yes.
You know, it always there has to be like a certain level of uniqueness to it for me to like really be into it.
Do you have like rhinestone glasses?
Not yet.
Okay, I want a pair of rhinestone glasses. I just decided. I think you should also get a pair of those.
Yeah, we could totally do like an Elton John like tribute together.
Yes.
It'd be amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pop in another question for you because of your thing being sneakers. I need you to tell us, like, and I know it's going to be hard, but you can do it, your top 3 sneakers in your collection.
Okay. So it's not necessarily the rarest or the craziest ones.
Okay.
But I would go, well, my Air Force One Tiffany's. Those are special.
Okay. Are they Tiffany blue? Like that's
So it's black suede with a Tiffany blue swoosh, and on the back there's a 1 ounce bar of Tiffany silver.
so cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those hit a little differently.
Okay.
I'm an Air Force One guy.
Okay.
You know, I love all my Air
That's
Force
what you're
Ones.
wearing today.
No, today
sorry.
we actually have on the Red Lobster Dunks.
Okay. Oh, they're dunks.
know?
Okay.
Yeah.
They look similar to me, but
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about. So they
You
have
do
like
you
a
like
little
the picnic table?
Oh my God,
The
that's
lining
so
there?
cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, these are from Concepts. These were, a fun Nike collab. Mm-hmm. You know, may rest in peace, Virgil Abloh. Everything, a lot of the Off-White collabs I have, those are special to me. I just had such an experience. They just did a friends and family drop for the original Jordan 1.
Yes, I saw them on your. Well, you sent me photos.
Yes.
But they're the black and red.
The black and reds,
Yeah.
the ones that were banned. And
Wait, banned?
yeah, so Michael, those were the original ones they made, the black and reds. There was a rule in the NBA.
Oh, banned. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I got it confused and thought you were talking about like banned books.
Oh, no.
Like that they couldn't be worn.
Oh, yeah, they couldn't be worn on the basketball court.
Right. Okay.
Because all sneakers had to be 80% white.
Oh my! I actually really didn't know that.
Yeah. Which is a great interview with Michael Jordan and David Letterman. And Letterman goes, that's really funny that the sneakers have to be 80% white because the league,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that was a very special day. They, just to have that sneaker again. And do I have time for a quick story?
Yeah.
So I'm a kid. The Jordans come out. And
what year was this?
85.
Oh yeah, so 40
Yeah.
years. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Mm-hmm.
I'm begging I'm begging. And when we were kids, like your parents spent $20, maybe $30 on sneakers.
Yep.
And anything above that was like, you better move out and get your ass a
Oh,
job.
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it wasn't like a
A
thing.
paper route.
So I'm like, still 6 months away from my first job, which was like 12. And I don't know how I conned them into doing it, but finally, they probably just wanted me to shut up.
Yep.
They take me to get my Jordans.
Where did they take you?
Like,
where do they even sell?
I believe at that point, we either went to the Broadway Mall to Foot Locker.
There was a Broadway Mall back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Or there was also like a small sports store in Oyster Bay, but I think we went to Foot Locker.
Okay.
And I get the Jordans. And I am cheesing. I am the happiest kid in the world.
So were they hard to get, though? Or it wasn't like...
It wasn't crazy to get them, but nobody got them because they were so expensive. They were like $70, And
wow, times have really changed, yeah.
So I get them. I come home. I lace them up. I'm shining them up. I am ready.
Yeah.
And you talk about feeling good.
Yeah.
I go to school. I'm like
Totally.
this, And then probably if school started at 8 o'clock in the morning, probably by 10:30, I feel like, I don't know, my foot's cramping.
Oh, no.
By noon,
You couldn't walk.
I couldn't walk. By the time I got home, I'm in tears, but I'm not telling anybody.
Right, no.
So I'm going to do it again tomorrow.
Wait, what was wrong?
They were, the Jordan 1 is probably the most uncomfortable sneaker.
Okay, yeah.
It's a flat sole.
Right.
By the end of day 2, they had to take me to the pediatrician where they froze my foot and they sliced blisters off my foot.
Oh my God. But you have to do it for fashion.
Because I had the most sensitive, Jewy feet of all time. It was a disaster. And I tried wearing them. I wore them a couple more times, but it hurt so much.
So where are they today?
That pair unfortunately is gone.
Okay.
And now I have to convince them to buy me another pair of shoes. I'm wearing my old Reeboks or whatever I had at the time. So yeah, that was a moment.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
the Agassi shoes, the Air Tech 2 Challenges, anything, Nike and Andre Agassi was definitely a moment then, which I still look at today. When those re-release, I always have to pick up a pair.
Okay, I need a photo of those because I have no idea what those look like. Never.
Well, look at the screen right now. See it? Yeah, there it is. I just dropped it in.
Okay, cool.
All right?
Good job, producer.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so actually, we have gone through all of our questions except for the last one, which is, what look will you never be over? So this question is, you've heard me ask it over and over. It can either be something you wore that got a lot of attention or another person's look that was iconic to you.
This was such a moment, and I think it kind of validated my personal fashion in such a way.
Right.
I remember watching some interview about men's fashion, and I'm going to be back to men's fashion in a minute.
Okay.
And they're talking about Brad Pitt, and they're like, "Oh, Brad's style might look simple, but," and they show that he had on, a John Varvatos T-shirt, which was $400 at the time, and a pair of, whatever jeans, which were $600, and sneakers and whatever. And I was like, wow, so there really is fashion in this thing that I always, thought was just
simple. Right.
And that kind of I don't know, that kind of turned me on to a whole nother world of fashion. And, there's so many people who have designed for that mindset, the street to luxury, like I like to call it. And obviously, rest in peace, Virgil Abloh, but Jerry Lorenzo, Max Siegelman, Ronnie Feig, Teddy Santis for ALD, all these guys who have taken streetwear
and elevated
to a whole new world. I got to always give them props, and ladies, you can design for us. It's okay.
I know. Well,
we need more female fashion designers for men.
Okay.
I think that's a thing.
Yeah, probably. Although I will say, I feel like it's hard to design things for me.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to design things that I can't wear or that I don't wear. So I like to wear my husband's, old vintage sweatshirt or like
Yeah.
men's button-down shirt
Yeah.
or whatever, but I don't have I feel like a lot of times I design things that I want to wear. So that's why maybe like these guys
Yeah.
are designing things that they want to wear, that
Yeah.
they want to see in the world.
Yeah.
So, but so
I mean, here's where I've got to give you your flowers. Your designs are so universal. You know, half of everything you design, I could either see myself in or
yeah,
other
no, I
people.
mean it's definitely going with like the unisex sort of,
Yeah.
or like anyone can wear
Yeah.
this
And
thing.
more designers need to think outside the box like
Yeah.
you do too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Harlan and
Yeah.
I are going to I think we should actually have a joint podcast
Yeah.
every 10 or so episodes.
Yes,
I'll come
yes.
back on yours too.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do one when we go to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to ask you what the three last questions.
Okay.
What is the first thing you do in the morning?
What?
Yeah.
Like on camera, you want me to say?
Well,
Yeah.
for the G-rated thing.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I wake up every morning, and this goes back to kind of like therapy / getting through a whole world of anxiety, which we'll talk about on another show.
Okay.
But I do this like weird, I don't know why I say like, because it's not like it. I actually do it.
Okay.
This weird mental checklist of scanning the body.
That's great.
I scanned the body. I was like, all right, does everything feel good? Is everything, and it's definitely a little bit on the anxiety side, but it's something that I just do every day when I wake up.
You're doing like a check-in with yourself.
Yeah. Half of it really is like, what am I going to die of today?
Oh,
But,
no.
No.
Definitely
But,
not.
yeah,
You're good. And yeah.
But it's like this mental check-in, and I try to clear the mechanism
Yeah.
before before the day starts, because once the day starts, it rolls through way into
You got to keep
into
going
the morning.
and yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the last thing you do at night? Do you do this again?
Usually, no. At night, and this is so against anything anybody's supposed to do or say. During the day is just 24/7. It's moving, and it's just 1,000 phone calls, and there's no time to unwind.
Okay.
I find my favorite time of the day is that like 2 hours before I fall asleep.
Okay.
Where it's just me and
Okay.
it's TV, and literally I take my phone.
Okay.
I have a couple of stupid games.
Okay.
That I still spend way too much money on because I need one more turn.
Okay. Right.
But I literally mangle my mind before I go to sleep. I want to forget the day.
Okay.
And where a lot of people do it in definitely more creative ways.
Right.
I do it by literally just losing my mind in some stupid game.
But your day is creative.
Yeah, my whole day is.
So you kind of want to check out.
Yeah, I just don't want to think.
Okay.
So I get lost in something, whether it's watching The Sopranos for the 50th time.
Okay.
Or it's playing the match game on my phone.
All right, cool.
And
But
it's
it's
just,
like it's downtime for you.
Yeah, it's the eraser.
Yeah.
You
All right.
erase the chalkboard before it fills up again the next day.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give you I want you to make a gratitude list
Okay.
at night.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm adding that into your daily schedule. Did you hear that, everybody?
I'm gonna make I'm
I can't. I like to give advice too much. I have to.
I'm down with the gratitude list.
Okay, so we're going to add that in.
Yeah.
And then what do you sleep in?
It's so simple. It's boxers.
Okay.
It's has to be an old pair of basketball shorts.
Okay.
I'll run through the wash 3 times before I even put them on.
Okay.
Because they have to have that little bit of a used feeling.
Right.
And it's an old cut-off Nike tennis T-shirt.
Love it.
And once that gets worn to the fact where once it's at the point where it's really just like a little bit of a collar and a piece of side, that's when I go online and try to find another one.
Okay.
I never have one on deck.
Ah, interesting.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's not like you.
Yeah, no, it has to run its course.
Okay.
And I have
You
to
can't
also
let go of it until it's literally nothing.
Yeah, it's either the Nike tennis or it's Vincent's Clam Bar. They have they have their t-shirts they sell there.
Right.
And they have ones without the sleeves.
Ah, yes.
Which
so you're like particular about that.
Yeah, I don't like a sleeve at
Okay.
night.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Freedom.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so I honestly feel like we have all of our conversations should be a podcast, honestly.
Yeah.
But because you are, oh, look, it's 12 o'clock.
Oh,
We're finishing
yeah.
just in time.
That's the whistle.
I want you to just tell everybody where they can find you, where
Yeah.
they can find your social media, your podcast, and anything else that you
So
want to
you
share.
could always go on Instagram to the official Harlan, Harlan. Also, if you want to watch the show on YouTube, you could go on YouTube and watch episodes at the official Harlan. It's also aired nationally on the Donna Drake Show across the CBS network. So we're in, I think we're in 10 markets now. We just added Tampa.
Nice.
So that's every weekend. You can watch the episodes there. And of course, iHeartRadio under Soul Free Radio.
Of course.
And, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. Or just message Hilary and she'll
Yes,
give
I'll
you
direct you.
She'll give you the lowdown.
I'll give you some advice and direct you to Harlan's podcast.
Yeah, I think I like Never Over the Hill better though
Then what?
than Being on Soul Free.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Maybe for April Fool's Day we can switch.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, that would be
Yeah.
so much fun. No, we have so many ideas,
Yeah.
and anyway, we'd both love to hear from you.
Yeah.
So DM us,
Totally.
and thanks for tuning in to the 10th episode, and
10.
we'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you. Mwah.